All right, this video will teach you everything you need to know about booking shows. I had my buddy Pariah Pete on. He shares his experience booking over 100 shows all across the west side of the country. He shares how he got over 16,000 monthly listeners. He shares how he got over 50,000 streams on one song and talks a little bit about some playlist strategies and things like that he used. So if you're interested in learning how to book shows, if you're interested in learning how to get more streams, watch this episode all the way through to the end. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video useful. Please help me welcome my good buddy, Pariah Pete.
Word.
We are live. Pariah, man, welcome to the podcast, man. Mariah with the P.
Yes, sir. Pariah Pete, a.k.a. Pariah like Mariah with a P, bro. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man. It's nice to meet you, bro. It's good to connect, man. You're crushing it right now. For anybody who doesn't know who's listening or watching this, dude's got 16,000 monthly listeners right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On the rise, too. On the rise, you feel me? I'm trying to hit that 20K next month with the next single drop. So,
dude, yeah, Red Wine crushed it, bro. April 24th, it dropped. And
yes,
it's
sir.
already at, what, 18K or more right now?
Yeah, it's at 18K, so it's probably going to hit 20K by, like, the time this shit drops, bro. It's growing like crazy. Yeah.
That's wild. Congrats, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm going to crack this for the one time, you feel me? It's Modelo time somewhere.
Hey, somewhere, bro. Somewhere out there, man. There you go. So Red Wine just hit over 18K. You got first time just past 50K, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, so
that's big.
The crazy thing about that hitting 50K was, like, first off, it's an oldie. Like, I've had that in the vault for a minute. Like, I've been performing that song. I had a version of that song, bro, in, like, 2018. And it just dropped, like, now in 2020. Like, yeah. I ended up adding, like, a bridge and a second verse and everything, but I've been had, like, the rough draft of that for a minute. And so when I showed my homie, because I was just playing my homie some unreleased shit, and I was just playing him shit from the vault, he's like, what the fuck? He's like, why did you never drop this? Because it was supposed to be on my last album. And I was like, oh, like, it didn't fit the vibe of my last album. And I was like,
finished, old you. Yeah.
Exactly. And then he was like, nah, he was like, you for real, like, this is one of my favorite songs by you, if not one of your best songs, like, you need to drop this.
Wow.
And so I dropped it, and it was doing good. Like, the reception was hella good, like, from, like, guys and girls, like, just everyone was fucking with it. And then what happened was, like, the Spotify algorithm started to pick up on people, like, saving the song, playlisting the song, all that shit. Yep. And so without getting a fucking big playlist, bro, this shit just started, like, popping off strictly from Discover Weekly, which was dope because that's, like, all people that have never heard me. So I was getting people, like, following me on IG, like, yo, like, I'm from fucking Carolina, or I'm from fucking Maine, or, like, wherever the fuck in the world, like, I'm from Paris. Like, I just heard your song through Discover Weekly. Like, your shit's fire. Keep it up. And I was like, yo, that's
wow.
That's
crazy how it works, man. Spotify is putting on for upcoming artists more than any other platform I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Like, not on SoundCloud, not in my years on SoundCloud. On SoundCloud, bro. You know what I mean? Like, been doing this maybe like 2013 time. Like, since you know what I mean? And, like, you know, never have I seen a platform just, like, push people out like that. Just, like, you know what I mean? Like, people are messing with it. People are fucking with it. Like, they take note of that. Like, they understand, like, okay, like, the save rate versus the skip rate and the you know what I mean? Like, there was some kind of study I saw where it was like this guy had like a 10% save rate from, you know what I mean? Like, listener to save, right? You know what I mean? And it was like those songs that had a 10% or better got pushed to, like, 500,000 people, like, quick. You know what I mean? And I don't think it has to be 10%. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's a big deal, bro.
Yeah, bro. The algorithm on there is, like, perfect. And it's dope because it's beneficial for, like, the user as much as it is as, like, the artist or, like, the entrepreneur, like, whatever the fuck. Like, because if you're just listening, like, it curates playlists, like, to whatever, like, your styles are, like, whatever, like, your habits are of, like, what you're actually listening to. Like, it'll recommend shit to me that, like, I already know, like, that I'm a like for, like, the most part. Like, some of it I'm not gonna like, obviously, but, like, most of it like, I'm already, like, fucking with
for the most part.
So,
yeah.
So I think it's really, like, the best streaming service out there as far as, like, being a listener and being an artist. Like, this is where, and that's what I realized with my last single, like, blowing up and doing 50K. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just push Spotify. Like, if you got Apple Music, cool, listen to me on Apple Music. But, like, on socials, I'm gonna be like, yo, pre-save my shit on Spotify. Yo, keep my shit on Spotify. All that.
No, 100%. And, like, If you ever use Chartmetric by chance?
No.
Chartmetric. Okay, so that's a database for playlisting, like to help you find playlists and stuff like that. You go on Chartmetric, it's like a whole bunch of analytics, you search for an artist and you scroll down like halfway through the page and it shows you like a list of playlists that they appear on. So if you're similar to a certain artist, right, you know what I mean? Like you type in that artist you're similar to because that's your genre, that's your lane, that's your niche. You would want to contact people that, you know what I mean, run those playlists, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So if you go on that website, it has like a whole bunch of different types of analytics and graphs and metrics and everything. If you look, I swear it's like, if you look, it's like, it shows a list of the amount of playlists each artist is on across platforms, right? So it'll show you Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer. For Spotify, it's literally every time 20,000 or more, right?
Yeah.
Apple Music, 30. Not even playing.
Damn.
It's bad. It's like that, dude. It's like that. Like when you actually look at the data, like the actual hard metrics, it's not even funny. It's not even worth wasting your time on these other platforms. And I'm not shitting on them. They're cool. I used Apple Music for years. I'm not gonna lie, until I started like, you know what I mean? Like until I started really getting into the marketing of it. You know what I mean? Then I was like, damn, like Spotify's where it's at, you know.
Bro, the thing about Apple Music and like pretty much every other streaming platform is like the whole entire process of it is so manual. You feel me? Like if you want to go listen to an album, like you got to go search that shit and you got to find the album and then download the album and then you listen to that album. And that works.
That's it. Yeah.
And that works for like users like me because like I truly like listening to albums and shit. And I'm like more old fashioned in that sense. But to like the modern listener who's like way more so like single based and way more so like a playlist and a vibe and a mood and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like bro, Apple Music don't got like none of that, bro. And how you gonna find new artists?
There's no way.
Like Apple Music.
No.
There's no fucking way.
There's no way.
Versus like Spotify, bro. Ever since I started listening to Spotify, I've dead ass like listened to probably like 30 new artists that I would have never heard of before unless like my homie told me of them.
Right.
So that's the thing is like how I would describe it is like almost like comparing it to a car. Like every other streaming service is so much more manual and you got to like shift gears and all that shit versus Spotify, bro. That's just automatic, bro. That's just smooth acceleration, all that.
Bro, every time. And like, that's like, you know, they got release radar and everything, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like they got editorial playlists. They have different moods. They got different vibes. Like Apple Music, I might go on Apple Music. I might, you know, on Apple Music, I might find like, all right, Nipsey Hussle Essentials. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like those playlists where it's like specifically an artist, maybe a mood, maybe a genre, whatever, what's hot right now. You know what I mean? But like more than anything, like when you go to your library, that's the main place you're going to focus on. You know what I mean? It's like too much work to browse for stuff, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can like a playlist. It could be individually curated. It could be algorithmically curated or editorial. You know what I mean? There's just all kinds of different, you know what I'm saying?
It's dope because it's way more in the hands of the user rather than like, because not every single playlist on Spotify is an editorial playlist made by Spotify. Like there are hella playlists that got like 500,000 followers, 20,000 followers, 1 million followers, whatever, that some kid in his fucking basement made. Like, and it just like randomly took off.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
Bro, exactly. Like Arizona Zervis, bro, Roxanne.
Yeah.
That was all, you know what I mean? Spotify algorithms for the most part. Okay, the song's hot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you know what I mean? Like the algorithm isn't going to really just kick up like trash music like that. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, it's like, and that's the thing. Like you can kind of tell if you're ever on Discover Weekly, you can kind of tell the people who are like using bots and getting fake streams. You see like $250,000, 30,000, like 300,000 on some dude's song. When it's like it's the quality just isn't there. Like it wouldn't just get kicked up like that. You know what I mean? But Spotify does come in and, you know, kick those people off and they ban accounts and they block people. So.
Yeah, that's another thing that like, because with this single, this was the first time, because The Finest, my last single, hitting 50K and like randomly blowing up on Discover Weekly, like showed me, I was like, oh shit, like the sky's the limit, bro, like for real. And I've been doing this, like I've been making music seriously since 2016, and I've been doing numbers, but it was never like, this was the first time that it was like, it went out of AZ, it went bigger than me, where it was like, not even my followers were listening to it. It was like a fucking 50,000 people listening to it. You feel me? I don't got 50,000 followers.
Right.
So it's like, that was the first time it really it gained traction outside. And so when it came to the release of Red Wine, where I was like, okay, this shit is definitely could be a hit, especially like it's been like the ladies' fan favorite, bro, just because of how like smooth it is. Like it's smooth as fuck.
It's hot,
and
bro.
So
yeah, man,
I appreciate it. And so basically I prepared like 2 or 3 weeks, like lining up like different like potential playlists that I could pitch to. And basically like my whole point that I'm saying is like it's way better to just like rely on like the algorithm and like putting out quality music rather than like
Right.
really pursuing the playlists.
Okay. Okay.
Because how I feel, I mean, definitely do playlists. Like I definitely pitch my shit to multiple playlists, but I
Right.
just
Right.
feel like
Right.
the whole playlist route was a
Mm.
lot less like cool and romantic than I initially thought. I thought it was gonna be like I hit up these curators and they're like, "Yo, I fuck with this song, I'm adding it." But it's like realistically, like most people are gonna charge you for a placement. So it's like,
People will, which by the way is against the Spotify terms of service.
yeah,
And a
they
lot of
don't give a fuck.
people,
They don't give a fuck though.
they don't. No, they don't at all. They'll have it right on their social media, which I think is
Yeah,
crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
yeah,
bro, like, I never go with it, man, because half the time, man, they're bots. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, people will advertise, yo, man, my song got 40K in 7 days. Like,
yeah,
I'm not doing that, man. I'm gonna get my whole account banned. I don't do that. I don't
yeah.
do it at all.
Dude, what I think is truly better than targeting like some big ass playlists, is like finding the small niche playlist with fucking like 5,000 followers
Yep.
that like it's just a random
Mm-hmm.
real person like
Yep.
you or me or like someone in their room, and like
Yep.
actually build a relationship with that person. Be like, yo,
Exactly.
like I found some dude who like creates this like big ass like lo-fi hip hop playlist who like
Mm-hmm.
every single time I release music, I send it to him and he's just like a fan and he just adds it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not charging or nothing.
Right. No,
So
you got that. That's a big point. It's like, you know, I can pitch my song to playlists, right?
mhm.
Or I can meet people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like build a connection with somebody, right? And like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, and all those industry terms aside of like, you got to network, you got to build relationships. You know what I mean? Like the way I look at it
Mhm.
is like, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of connecting with people. We're all in the space of doing what we're passionate about. We're all pursuing music. We all do what we love.
Mhm.
Curators, right? They're doing their thing because it's a beautiful thing to do. Artists, it's a beautiful thing to do. You know, connecting and collaborating with other people, whether it's a curator or another artist or another videographer, right? And so I
Yep.
put the focus, instead of like pitching my shit, a lot of times I say like, yo, you want to do an interview? You want to connect? You know what I mean? Like, and I'll make that the focus. Instead of, I won't
Yeah.
even ask people half the time. You know what I mean? I'll just be like, what's going on? Like, how, you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
one thing leads to another. It goes to that. It eventually gets to that of like, yo, I want to post up your song, right? And then everybody's happy. Like, that's cool. But like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, that's definitely the better route. And that's like one of the first things that you're supposed to do when like you use the industry term network. Like you're supposed to offer
yeah,
them value. You feel
exactly.
me? Like why
Right.
the fuck why should they fuck with you? You know how many people these like, especially the fools who make Spotify playlists who have their Instagram in their fucking bio. Like if you go to their Instagram, just peep their comments, bro. Everyone's like, yo, check DM, yo, just sent you a song, check
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
Like
come
they're
on. Nobody's checking DM, bro. Like, stop. You know what I
nobody,
mean?
bro.
Nobody.
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 And so
Nobody.
you just got to come at it from like their perspective, like damn, like these fools are really getting messages on the daily. And
Yeah.
bro, I'm a fucking artist, bro, and I get spammed with fucking links, and I know you do too, bro. That's just
Yeah.
like somehow the world of being an
Yup.
independent artist. Like people just spam
Producers,
links,
yeah, whatever. Yeah. You get
dude.
spam links. It's like, you know what I mean? Producers be like, yo, your shit was hot, right? I'm like, bro, I
Yeah,
don't even
yeah,
got a song out. You know what I mean? Like, where'd you
yeah.
hear it? Where'd you hear it, bro? You know what I mean? Like, I straight up, like, my
Bro,
first Spotify debut was April
that's
17th,
hilarious.
right?
Uh-huh.
And people before that were like, yo, bro, I just heard that shit. And I'm like, I don't got any links in my bio.
Yeah,
I know you didn't Google search me. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Beats by Steve. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Bro, if you go on Twitter and you post, I don't know if you got Twitter, just post
Mhm.
I need beats or send me beats and then put your email, bro. You're gonna get 20 spam fucking shits. People who
Yeah.
have never heard your music before, like people will send me like fucking like Playboy Cardi type beats, and I fuck with Playboy Cardi, but I don't make that type of
It's just
music,
not your
bro.
music. Right, right,
Dude, that's not my production and shit. And
right.
so I'll get shit like that in my fucking DMs all the time. I'll get other artists like, yo, like peep this new song of mine, or like just like being like hella aggressive, or not even aggressive, but just like hella
Yeah.
fucking inhumane in the way that they're just like sending a link. I'm like,
It's
bro, I don't even
inhumane, bro.
bro, I was like, I don't even know
Just
you,
no
bro. Like,
regard for human life. Just
dude,
run
that's what
them
I'm saying.
links, bro. Like you may as well just be running my cheeks, bro. No, I'm like,
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like when I was, because I'm still getting in the DMs and like sending out links and shit, but like the way I'll do it is I'll like start the conversation first and approach it
Exactly.
more humanely, bro. Like
Exactly. Yup.
people are fucking humans. And
Yeah, bro.
at the end of the day, what I realized, I didn't know if this was a pro or con of mine for a minute, but just like how much I truly like value my relationships with like my listeners. Like
Right.
I've had listeners that started just listening to my music through like finding me on social media that like I actually like keep up with their life now, or like they keep
Right.
up with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while I didn't know. I was like, damn, like is me getting like this personal and this intimate with my people, my listeners, people who fuck with me, is that going to be something that hurts or like benefits me? And what I'm seeing
Oh
nowadays,
yeah. Yeah.
it helps. It helps so fucking much because
Nah,
those
100%,
people,
bro.
yeah, and those are people who are like at the end of the day like putting money in my pocket and like spreading my music and spreading my love and my art. Like
Right.
if they feel like they could really connect with me on like an artistic and a personal level, like they're just that much more willing to like put me on their back, you feel me, and post my shit and tell their friends about me and shit. So
No, 100%, 100%. You know what? It's like studies show, right? The people who have the strongest fan base, the people that have the most support from their listeners, are people who build that connection.
yeah,
Right. Like
facts.
one way or another, whether it's like I'm putting out resonating content and I'm sharing with them who I am and I'm
Hmm.
connecting with them one on one and I'm putting my true self out there. I'm putting my soul into this. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
a lot of people get the idea that if you're an artist, you know, you can't also be a content creator. You know what I mean? You can't share too much of yourself. Like they look at maybe like some superstar, they look at like Slim Jimmy and like Ray Shremmerd and like these stars that like, you know, their life is like a little bit like barred out from people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not YouTubers. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not people who share their heart and their soul. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know. I don't mean to say that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I know
Get
what you're
what I
saying.
mean? Like
I know.
there's
Yeah.
not that content that they're putting out like that. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
people be like, you can't be an artist and a podcaster, right?
Hmm.
But like there's a misconception there. It's like, you know, we can't like just bank on being Hollywood and oh, I don't
Hmm.
need to do all that because, you know, look at him. He didn't, you know what I mean? It's like a matter of
Yeah.
really, you know what I mean, building that.
Yeah, a lot of people too, especially like up and comers and like independent artists are like so I don't know what the fuck the word is, like ignorant or like lazy in the sense that they're like so unwilling to do anything that they like don't see as like on being on like the blueprint or whatever. Like kind of like what you were talking about with like being an artist but also being a podcaster. Like in 2020, bro, like we got to do everything
Yeah.
possible to
Yes.
help bring in shit,
Yep.
especially for people like you or me that's not a fucking like J. Cole. Like for instance, I had this conversation in the DMs the other day because like I went inactive for like a few days because I was with family in Indiana, and I posted, I was like, yo, my beef for being inactive. And he was like, bro, he's like, you're good. Like, you don't even got to trip. Like, your art speaks for itself and so on and so forth. I'm like, yeah, like, I agree with that, like, 100%. But also, I need
Mm-hmm.
to be out here, like, being active on social media because
Yep.
at the end of the day, that's like free promo every single time I post something. It's like, damn, this person might go to my profile and then peep the link in my bio or peep my shit on Spotify, like, whatever the case is.
Yep.
So I don't like hearing from artists when they're like, oh, nah, like, I can't do a fucking podcast or I can't do like this. Like, bro, just be genuine and like do
Ego,
whatever the
bro.
fuck you want, bro.
Yeah.
It really is ego.
It's
Like,
ego. It's ego. And that same mindset, that's the same mindset where like people will hit up an artist like showing mad love and they don't even post it. You know what I mean?
hmm,
Red receipt. You know what I mean? Like they don't communicate. They don't thank you. They're not showing
yeah,
love. They're not receptive of that, right? That's a missed opportunity to turn a really interested listener into a total freak cult fan.
facts,
Yo, he got back to me. Yo, he posted me up. Yo, he sent me a
facts.
shirt. Yo, he
Yeah,
said, I love you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
some real though, right? It's like, it's a matter of like connecting. You know what I mean? It's a matter
yeah,
of reaching out, being like, dude, thank you. Like for real, like this is my soul. This is my heart. This is my work.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm
And yeah,
saying?
that's truly shit that I've been doing for a minute that was not even like calculated or like premeditated by any means, just because at the end of the day that's like my personality is like I just really appreciate like my friends and family and shit, and I like connecting with other people, and I'm like an introverted social ass motherfucker, you feel me? Like I
Right.
love
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
people. And so here, give me 1 second, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, you cool. You cool.
My fault, my doorbell just went off.
No problem. You good. You good. We
Nah,
back.
so we are back, you feel me?
Yes.
But See, yeah, that was something that I did without even like trying to do for so many years, was like being as connected as I am with my listeners and fans. And like that shit really, really helps a lot. Like for instance, when I was doing all my headlining shows in the past in Phoenix, because I've done sold out shows that like, I mean, you're not gonna know any of these venues, but it's like Crescent Ballroom, Rebel Lounge, Pub Rock, 51 West, and I think that's it. I
That's
think I might
Phoenix.
have one. Yeah. So
Nice.
I've so and those are like venues ranging from like 300 to 500 people. And so when I do all
Damn.
these shows, bro, I'm literally like out here. Like when people hit me up for a ticket, like they don't get like a online link or whatever. They get a physical ticket, and what they get with that physical ticket is like me delivering the ticket and like pulling up in person, like in
Yeah.
Phoenix, and like dropping it off at their crib and like taking a picture
Yeah.
with them and like post on social media and all that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So talk about that. Now, you've done a few shows, right? Like you've done a good amount of shows. I saw you had that 48-hour tour at one point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where you went out of
dude.
state a little bit and shit, right?
Yeah. So I've been performing hella because the way that I started was like truly on some. Do you guys have First Friday in Philly?
Yeah, we got something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of more in the county. I don't know what they got in Philly, to be honest, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, First Friday is like, you know what I'm saying, first Friday of every single month, like all the artists and like musicians, painters, people who sell jewelry, like all that, like they'll go downtown and they'll display their art. And so that was the first place that I used to pull up back in like late mid 2016ish when I first started like posting my music. And I
Mhm.
used to pull up there like if I was performing or not. Like if it was an open mic, I was pulling up to do a cypher with some homies, freestyling, just like rapping, you feel me? And
Yeah.
so through that, and just like always accepting every single opportunity, bro. Like I've never turned down a single. I really don't think I've ever turned down a single show opportunity. And from that, bro, I've like performed like probably close to 100 times. Sometimes it being in like a random ass bar when like I'm not even 21 yet, bro. Like literally, I've performed at multiple bars where they would like
Damn.
have me like every single like fucking like first Friday of every single month. I used to pull up to Third Space in downtown Phoenix, and like they'd have me like just rapping, like you feel me, for 30 minutes. Or I would do like random little gigs in like Tucson and Flagstaff, which are like 3 hours away from Phoenix. I've done shows California, Utah, Colorado, New
Wow.
Mexico.
Wow.
So I got the whole like Southwest right now. And
Damn.
then multiple sold out headlining shows. Opened for Xavier Wolf and Doja Cat, which was dope because both of those were like hand selected, where it's like, because a lot of openers, like the way they get booked is like they'll get a certain contract that they have to sell like a certain amount of tickets and then they
Right.
could be an opener. Like
Mhm.
for both of those events, I knew the people who were like promoting the events and they just hit me and they're like, yo, like come open, because I'm like, they already know I'm gonna be a good performer and shit. So yeah, bro, I've been blessed to get like a lot of live opportunities, and like I said, like I don't turn down a single one, even if it's for like, even if I'm the opener technically or I'm not the headliner on the card and like the dude headlining is smaller than me, like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna go still pull up, do my thing. Like even if I gain like one new listener, like that's one new listener.
Yeah,
If I
100%,
talk
man.
yeah, if I talk to one new person after the show who's like, "Yo, like your shit's super dope," like
Mhm.
blah blah blah. What's your IG? Like, I'm super like welcoming to all that. So I used to
Yeah.
pull up before Corona. You know what I'm saying? In the BC times, I used to pull up to like every single local event, like every single weekend, whether I was performing, whether my homies were performing, whether it was rap or hip hop, or if it was like a fucking indie rock like punk house show. Like I really just started like going out to every single art event possible and just connecting with people.
Okay. So now your strategy with that is you go to these art events, things like that. You introduce yourself. You try to, you get a spot somewhere, right? So these are kind of like those entry level places, and then it builds, and then you make
Yeah.
connections as you go. Maybe there's somebody there. Like, what's your strategy? Do you submit to booking agents? Do you submit to promoters ever? Do you kind of hustle it that way too? Like, what's your
Yeah.
main?
So as far as strategies for shows, bro, like it's really been like super natural and organic to the sense where I never really approached anyone to like get try to get on their show. Mostly what happened in the early days of like when I first started going out to these events is I would connect with all these people at the show, and then like whether they knew that I made music or not, once I connected with them on social media, when they go home they're like, oh shit, like this kid makes music, oh shit, this kid's dope too. And so by connecting with people who like hosted the event or promoted the event, maybe like naturally and organically they would hit me up next time like, yo, do you want to slot on this next show like coming up in 2 months, or like like just shit like that where it was like super natural and organic, where people would just ask me to be on their event.
Okay, so you kind of meet people at events and just kind of being out in the scene, right?
Yeah,
Like you might go to one show, maybe you find out who's hosting the event, it's on the flyer or something like that. You just kind of
yeah,
introduce yourself, just kind of make friends in the business, and then next thing you know, somebody hits you up, "Hey, man, you want to open?" Like
yeah.
on that kind of level. Okay.
Yeah, and then it really just became all of that mixed with like me actually renting out venues by myself and like putting down like deposits by myself and then going out selling out these venues. So like the scene and the world is seeing like, oh shit, like Pariah P, he's out here like selling out venues. And so basically like when
Right.
someone would have their own show, they'd be like, yo, like I want to put him on the card because I know that he's gonna bring an audience.
Right.
So it was really like a natural mix of like me like going out and meeting people and then me also just being like super on my solo grind and like really like selling out venues on my own, where it's like people are like, damn, like there's no reason why we shouldn't want him to be on the show if he's going to bring in people, if he's like a cool ass person, if he's whoop like it checks off on all marks. So through that, bro, like I've gotten hella shows where in like 2018 2019, bro, I used to perform like 2 or 3 times a month, like some of them being like super small gigs, some of them being bigger gigs, some of them being my own show where like I sold hundreds of tickets for and like I promoted heavily for weeks. Some of them I wouldn't even like bother posting because it would just be like some random ass fucking like random shit where I'm just pulling up and rapping for 10 minutes. Like,
Right.
yeah, basically like my only advice when it comes to like trying to do shows is, one, go get involved with like your local community, because those are the people who are going to be giving you opportunities. Because when you first start making music, you can't walk into a venue and be like, yo, I want to rent this place with like no resume.
Right.
You got to build your resume first, go meet all these people, get connected with people, and then like don't turn down a single offer. Like I've performed at some weird ass shows where it's like I was the most obscure artist on the card, like
Right.
considering like who else was performing. So
Yeah. No, that's huge, man. That's huge. So starting out, right? Like your advice for the guy that's starting out, he hasn't done a single live show, right? Like you just go out there in the scene, meet people, make connections, make friends in the scene, in the area, let them know
yeah,
who you are, kind of introduce yourself, maybe exchange contacts, exchange socials, stuff like that. Now if a guy were to like, if somebody were to, be handed an opportunity, one of those opportunities where, okay, there's a contract where you can perform, but you got to sell a certain amount of tickets, right? Now you just kind of like do the social media grind, let people know on socials, let your friends know, call people, text people, stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like if that's giving you an opportunity to really do what you want to do, and if you really want to get on stage as bad as like you're saying you want to, like if you got to go out there and sell 30 tickets, like if you're a real
Mm.
artist and a real salesman and a real
Hmm.
grinder and hustler, like you could find 30 people.
Right.
Like you probably got fucking 5 people in your family who might be
Right.
down to like
Right.
buy it just out of love or whatever if they support your shit.
Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, it's all really about like connecting with people on social media. So what I would do when I first got those like earlier shows where like they would give me like 20 tickets is the first 10 people that I'm hitting up are the people who most recently engaged with me. So say I dropped a song in like October and I had a show in November, the first people I'm hitting up about my November show is going to be all the people who like reposted the song in October, because it was like it's that relevance factor versus
Right.
like
Right. Right.
once I sell like the first 15 tickets, those last 5 will be dependent on like my true like day ones, where it's like, oh yeah, like I already know that they're down to go, like I don't gotta convince them or bribe them. I'm gonna just text them, they're like, yeah bro, like slide through and I'll copy your ticket. So really what I started, like I was saying, is I would just always try to make it like as relevant as possible. And it's like, okay, like this is like I'm gonna be performing like this new song, or I'm gonna be performing this unreleased song here, and like this is why this event is special, and this is why you got to come to this event. And I would just be DMing people, texting people, calling people, all that.
Right, right. You just gotta package it up. You know what I mean? Make it accessible for people, right? And like I think you're right. I think that's a good point is if you're trying to go for a certain goal, whatever that might be, whether that's streaming, whether that's ticket sales, whatever, you will make it work if your mind's open, your mind's clear, and you're open to the opportunities. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you'll find them. New things will open up. Oh yeah, this guy will. You know what I mean? This guy maybe even he'll help me sell some tickets, or oh yeah, there's 20 people that have been like crazy diehard fans for my shit. Like they'll
Hmm.
come. You know what I mean? So just that's cool, man. That's solid advice, bro. You know. So
Yeah. And then also, kind of like going back to how we were talking about with sending out links, like approach those people like humanely, bro. Like be like, yo, like how you
yeah.
doing? Like you got any plans next weekend? Like I got a show coming up, like blah blah blah. Like don't just copy and paste the message like, oh, I'm selling tickets for $10. Like DM if you want some. Like,
Right,
bro,
right.
that's,
Just you hit them up with links. You know what I mean? Just like the first text in the DM is just like boom with a link and then the picture from the link. It's like, nah, dude, that's just
yeah.
straight spam, right, dude? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
really just like hit up those people, hit up your homies, friends, family, people who support your music, and just try to give them an incentive to pull up. And when they do pull up, like make sure they like feel like comfortable and feel welcome. Like I've had people, because Phoenix is so diverse in the sense, like, I mean, I'm sure every single city got this, but like I got people from like the west side pulling up and I got people from like the east side pulling up. And like the east side, like northeast side is like way more like wealthy and like nice and like whatever. And then
hmm
people from the west side, that's like, you feel me,
right,
not
right.
so much that case. And so when all these people are like meeting in one location, like I would really always try to make sure that like, okay, everyone like feels like they're like welcomed and like not like out of space or whatever, because like
Yeah.
some of these people pulling up to the show are only pulling up to see me and they don't really care about like the other artists. So if
hmm
that's the case, I want to try to give them incentive to like, oh no, like actually stick around like after I perform, or like pull up a little early and like try to see some other local acts, or like bring a couple of your friends, and like so that you could feel like kind of more comfortable and it'd be like a
Right,
party setting. Like really try to make it like a special like event and something that they could talk about like afterwards, not just
right, right.
them pulling up, recording a little bit of your performance on their phone and then dipping. Like
Mm.
make sure they feel welcomed and like thank them that they're there and stuff.
Bro, you're dropping gems, bro. You're dropping gems, man, for real. I mean,
Man,
that's solid stuff, man. I mean, because it's like you want people to come, right? You want them to be entertained. Maybe you get them a shirt, you buy them a snack, you buy them something to drink, you go up to them,
yeah,
one, yo, thank you for coming. Like, this means the world. Like, this is awesome that you made it. You know what I mean? Like, make it a special
yeah,
event. That way, it's like when they go, that was a big deal. Like, that was their whole night. Like, that was huge. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, the presence on the stage was awesome. The other people were awesome. Just the way you maneuvered, the way you made everybody feel welcome. Like, this is
yeah,
something worth going to. They will tell their friends about it. Yo, this is my friend that's up there on stage, and he's dope.
exactly.
Like, he's gonna come up to you. You know what I mean? He'll buy you popcorn or something, whatever. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. And then they're gonna want to come next time when they're pulling up with their one friend, and then those two people are gonna be like, "Yo, we should hit up Marshall, or let's hit up Maddie or whatever. Like, let's bring
Right.
them with us like next time." And
Right.
that's really how like my foundation with like selling tickets like really started. It would start with like 5 people from my high school, 5 people who most recently found me on social media, and then like 5 of like some of my day one homies. And then through those 15 people, they would just like naturally like start like bringing like, oh, like this time like I'm gonna get 2 tickets instead of 1, and I'm gonna bring my friend because last time I had a good time. And then when it comes to those like earlier shows when you're selling like 20 tickets, if you don't get the chance to talk to them as much as like you wanted to, like before or afterwards, like send them the text like the next day, like, yo, thank you for pulling up last night. Or send them a text like the day before and like, yo, like just wanted to remind you, like we got the show tomorrow, like I'm looking forward to seeing you. Like it's
Yeah.
really about just like being as human as possible, because a lot of these independent artists just like do it so fucking idiotically, bro. Like I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah, man.
so
I worked at this call center for a little while, right? I remember the guy had a good point, man. He was like the coach there, whatever, the director. And he had a good point. Like he talked to me. He's like, you know what business we're in? We're in the people business. These are human
facts,
beings with feelings. They
facts.
they like to feel good. They don't like to feel bad. That's
Yeah,
it. If you can help somebody have a good time, if you can offer something to somebody, and that's the biggest thing, right? I think that the biggest thing is ego and doing things selfishly. I think that that has to do with if you're creating content online, if you're making music, right? Like whatever that might be. If you're trying to sell tickets, it's all about the people. It has
yeah,
nothing, it really has nothing to do with me. I mean, yeah, it does, obviously, right? But it's really about what can I offer somebody, right? So
exactly.
so how did you get hooked up with those gigs out of state? That was all from kind of just the connections you made and the buzz that you kind of had going in your own community.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I mean, dude, it's really just like a domino effect when it comes to like making like networks and connections. When you're
Right.
so willing to go out to all these places and like welcome all these people, like naturally, like if you meet someone from like the other side of town, like they're gonna know way more people that you don't know. And so that's like exactly what happened with like me getting all my out of state gigs. Was all those opportunities were coming from different people. Like it wasn't like
Right.
one person that was like, yo, we're about to go do a show in Cali, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, like, and I'm gonna handle like all that. It was really the Cali show. Like I'll truly go through every single how I got those connections. The Cali show was from the homegirl Liz, who has put me on multiple events here in Phoenix. And she was like, yo, I'm gonna do a show out in LA, and it's gonna be half LA artists, half Phoenix artists. Every single time you pull up and perform, you're always super dope. Whoop de whoop. I want you to be on the show. Connection. The Utah show was similarly a dude who had put me on multiple Phoenix shows, and like I always like sold tickets, and he was always like, he been putting me on game. He's like a OG who's been doing this for a minute. He was the first person who taught me like, yo, Pete, like you need a booking fee. Like you can't just be like doing these shows for free. And like I still like do some shows for free, and then some of them like I'll do a booking fee for. But he's just put me on a lot of like business game. And so he was like, yo, he's like, I have an opportunity out in Utah. He's like, I want you to come be a part of it. Boom. Colorado was from a mutual homie who I actually never even met. He's just like a Colorado rapper, and he's like super dope. And he was like interacting with me for like 3 years before he like was like, yo, like I got a show that I'm working on in November. He's like, yo, you should pull up. Like I'll throw you money for gas. I'll throw you money for Airbnb. Like I
Mm.
fuck with you. Like we've collabed before. Like that took 3 years to evolve into me eventually getting that show out there.
Right.
And
Right.
then New Mexico was a similar situation where it was another rapper. And he was like, yo, like I want you to come be on the show out here. So it's really about just like connecting with as many people as possible, and
Right.
then just hoping, that like you're making your impact like known and like remembered, like when you
Right.
pull up to these events.
Yeah, bro, that's a big deal, man. So it's like sometimes it's you gotta individually sell each ticket, and then sometimes it's you get hooked up on a bill, kind of like that. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
like somebody hits you up, pull up, and then like that's kind of the way it went, just because you did your thing, whatever,
yeah,
whatever. But then there's those times maybe earlier on where you gotta kind of like make your name known, right? But as you
exactly.
as you go and develop, it becomes easier and snowballs, and you kind of just make connections and do your thing from there, and then people kind of
Yeah,
come to you rather than you kind of.
exactly. And then once you get like some of those things under your belt, really what like I push for artists is like try to be as independent as possible in as many realms as you can. That's why I respect artists on like a whole other platform who like produce their shit, or even who make like their own like graphic arts and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
videos, and people who
Hmm.
do vlog and like actually edit it themselves. Like try to
Right.
be as independent as possible so that
Yeah,
you're offering the most value possible.
absolutely.
That's why after doing shows from like 2016, 2017, and 2018, bro. So I was doing shows for 3 years that I would need assistance for, or I would need to get booked on the bill, or we would need to get through a certain person to get the venue. After doing that for 3 years, I got to the point where I could walk into like a smaller venue ranging from like 300 to 500 people in Phoenix, and I could talk to the booking agent or the owner of the venue and show them my worth, my value, my resume, my history, and be like, yo, you should like let me do it my own way this time. And then
Mm.
from that independence, I got able to be able to do shows like whenever I want and wherever I want and however I want. I could put together my own openers who like have to sell their own tickets, or I could do a different like style event and a themed type event where like, for instance, I had a show in February where I performed for the first time ever with a live band. And for that, I was like, I wouldn't want my opener to go up there with like a DJ and then me go up there with some live instruments, because it would just sound like weird. So what I had was like, I put like a band as my opener, which I've never done before. Like I've only had rappers as openers. So
Mm.
I really just try to tell people to be as independent as many ways as possible and as often as possible.
Right, right, absolutely. Like whether that be your business ventures and live shows, or like just, I mean, your content creation, right? Like starting that YouTube channel, whatever that might
Yeah.
be, growing that. You know what I mean? Like letting as many arms, because there's a lot of different opportunities. If you're an artist, if you're a content creator, that's a whole umbrella of opportunity. That's not just, like not that one dimensional, I just put out songs online.
Yeah.
Right, like there's more. There's like, the social media grind, the YouTube, maybe some kind of podcast or vlog, some kind of video thing, right? And then making sure your business is straight in terms of live shows. There's so much to it. Yeah. Bro,
Yeah.
this is cool, man. Like you dropping mad gems, man. Like I swear, like this
I
podcast is
appreciate
so
it, bro.
dope, man. Yeah, man. Cause it's like I have people on and like I'm like, yo, just talk about your experience. Right. And then like I be taking notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like on some real shit like this, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it just kind of takes on its own life, man. That's cool, bro.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I mean that's dope, bro. Like it's really all just about like learning from each other and like helping each other out, truly. And
Yeah.
then especially in times like this, with no shows being a factor, like we really got to get as creative as possible now. And kind of like what you're talking about with that umbrella, like we got to fucking
Big
boost that
time,
umbrella
bro.
up even bigger, bro.
Yes.
Like we got to make that
Yes.
shit even bigger. Like I was thinking about like literally, I was thinking about this. I think last night or the night before. I was like, bro, like I'll be in my room all day. Like people like give a shit about me enough, or like I could start a vlog. You feel me? Like I could
100%,
start
bro.
vlogging. Like
100%.
and I was gonna do the whole podcast thing for a minute too, and then really what stopped me from the podcast, because I like truly fuck with podcasts, bro. Like
Yeah,
I watch
podcasts are
podcasts
fun,
like
bro. Yeah.
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 So
They're fun to do too, bro.
dude, I love podcasts. What
Yeah.
the only thing I'm waiting on for a podcast is I'm gonna wait a couple years, a few more years. I just want to have like a little bit more wisdom under my belt when I start my own solo podcast. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, you know what though? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, cause I'm new with a lot of this stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, but it's just a matter of like, I don't know, bro. Cause like the niche I'm targeting again is like, you know what I mean? Like we're talking to each other, helping everybody grow, right? Having
yeah,
people on share their experience, we educate each other, right? You might have somebody on that's like way past you. They share their experience. You didn't need the knowledge. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah,
need this knowledge. That's you, bro. That you
yeah,
took over. You know what I mean? You did your thing. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of like I guess it's whatever way you see it, but I don't know, bro. I think you
yeah,
got plenty to offer, dude. If you did a podcast, that'd be
yeah.
lit. You were great too. You got talent, man. You're good at talking. You know, you're a great
I
speaker.
appreciate it.
So
I appreciate it, bro. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, fuck. I mean, I'm gonna do one of those things for sure. Whether it's the vlog to start or the podcast, I'm definitely trying to do one of those, bro. What I was really trying to do, but man, this fucking okay advice. Since we talking about advice for artists, bro, do not. And this is a typical one. Do not tweet your ideas. Do not share your ideas to the public before they are formulated and before they're actually your idea, because that
Right.
shit is going to get snatched, bro. That shit is fucking. It's
Uh-huh.
dead, bro. It's fucking dead. What I wanted to do this summer, bro, it's an original idea in the sense of how I would do it, but it's a formula and a format that you've seen before, bro. It was pretty much what I was gonna do, because I was like, damn, okay, I can't do the vlog, I can't do the podcast yet for my own reasons, which may be like bullshit reasons or whatever, but like this is my own reasoning in my head. I was like, I can't
Sure,
do the
sure.
podcast. I was like, I don't have a camera for the vlog yet. So what I was going to do, because I know so many artists out here in the Phoenix scene, and I was like, my purpose is I wanted to bring them onto some sort of show. One of my other passions besides music, bro, is cooking. So what I wanted to do, bro, is I wanted to do a cooking show with musicians, because that's never been done before, and that'd be
Mm.
fucking fire, bro. And
Why not? Why not, bro? What, did somebody
dude,
take it? Who cares?
dude,
Somebody took it, dude. Who cares, bro? Who cares?
dude, you know what sucks though is that the people, I don't know, dude.
You
I
knew
don't
them.
know if
It be your own people, bro. It be your own
dude,
people.
I don't know if I don't know if I planted the seed in the world. I don't know if I fucking if they saw it, but the fact is that I tweeted this idea because I forgot what I was. Oh, like one of my artist homies was like, "Yo, Pariah Pete just like sent me this fire ass like spicy potato taco recipe. Like, God bless this man." And I was like, on God, I'm finna start a cooking show with other musicians. I was like, but I'm gonna wait on that for a little bit. And then 2 days later, bro, like a big like promo company, like a promotion company that do like hella videos and have like a poppin' ass YouTube in Arizona, we're like, yo, blah blah blah, we're gonna do a cooking show with musicians, bro. I don't know, bro, if
That
they
was from
saw.
your
I don't know.
town. That's crazy. That's your own
Yeah,
town, bro. Your own town. It wasn't like you heard about it from someone else because they saw something on the news
yeah,
from
dude.
Philly or that's
Dude, and
crazy.
that shit would be so fucking entertaining, because like you like everyone's seen like cooking shows or whatever with like other people, but like cooking shows with like musicians, it's dope because like I would curate it depending on like our background. Like one of the finest examples I could bring up is my homie Capo Bravado. who Capo Bravado is straight out of New Orleans, and he straight be like cooking like real ass like gumbo and like southern ass dishes that I've never even like seen before. So it would be dope to have him on, and we could be on some like true like southern shit where like we're whipping up together, and then we're also having a conversation.
Bro, come on, man. You got to do it, man. You got that content's so dope. And somebody else could do it, but it's not you doing it. You know what I mean? Like, because I got my YouTube channel is like, my focus is educating people on music marketing and stuff like that, right? There's a lot of other people doing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people doing it, but I can add my own sauce to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can add my own thing. I can be myself, and that's not something that anybody else could do. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I say do it, bro. I say do it. I'm supporting you, man. You know what I mean? I'm shouting you out on the podcast. I'm posting, hey, man, go peep that Pariah cooking show, man. You know what I mean? He's crazy.
Yeah. I appreciate it, bro.
Do it, man.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna do something for sure because of like the lack of shows and like just how different our society, especially in like music world, has changed because of all this like COVID shit.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna have to do something.
That's what Russ said. He was like, yo, like you hear what Russ said. He was like talking about like the passive income he gets all from streams, and he was like, listen, man, like everybody's freaking out about these live shows not being around.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's chilling, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's chilling. Are you crazy, bro? Like he owns all his masters. He's not, but that's I mean, that's not even like, that's what you need, man. Like, that's absolutely, you know what I mean? You need to own your masters, right? And like, whether you're starting out, whatever, like just knowing that direction you need to be heading in is like, all right, like don't sell your soul, your whole soul away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, yes, live shows are important, right? Plus I'm too new to be saying, oh, like blah, 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 pass, right? But like focusing on content, focusing on giving as much as possible. Do something new, do something different. You know what I mean? I say, do it, bro. I'm supporting you 100%. Anything
I appreciate it, bro.
This was awesome, bro. We need to do this again because there was a whole lot of questions I wanted to get into. We didn't even get into that. I was just taking notes the whole time. So,
hey,
Pariah, bro, thank you, man. It was really great meeting you, man.
Yeah, bro. This was a dope ass episode, bro. Whenever you want me back, bro, we can talk about anything else.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it again soon. We need to now, man. I had a whole bunch of shit.
Bet. I'm with it, bro.
Pariah, nice to meet you, man. I'm gonna talk to you soon, dog.
Yes, sir. Take care, bro.
Later.